So feral and stray cats can be a major headache for the people living near their colonies, which might be you, and they cause all manner of problems, which is not just keeping you awake at night. Traditionally, the response has been to trap and then to actually euthanize, to kill them. But is there a better way? Well, I spoke to cat advocate Brian Cortis and started off by asking, what is the difference between feral and stray cats?
A feral cat is a cat that's not socialized, that you can't pick them up, you can't pet them, they might not even let you come near them, so that they become unadoptable for behavior reasons. Whereas a stray cat is a cat that used to be in a home and now has found itself on either lost or abandoned and living on the street. So that would be the main difference. And obviously with feral cats, since they can't be rehomed, where they need a solution. And traditionally the solution for decades before the work we started doing was to euthanize them. And that was the dominant approach, for at least 30 or 40 years prior to maybe it's really taken, the sterilization of cats as a form of population control has really taken hold in the last 10 years in this country. And I just always point out that if removing the cats from the environment and killing them had been a viable solution, we wouldn't be doing the work we're doing today. We wouldn't be faced with a huge cat overpopulation problem. And we can get into, if you like, the reasons why one works and potentially another doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, my understanding of that, or my thoughts are that you're creating this void, and so you're just going to have more cats move into that area, and it's a self-perpetuating cycle. Whereas if you've got a desexed population, they kind of maintain a stable population that isn't growing exponentially. Is that kind of accurate?
Yes, that's one of the primary reasons why removing cats from an environment doesn't work, because they're there for a reason. They wouldn't be there if there wasn't sufficient resources, food and shelter to support their existence. Just like, you wouldn't have any form of animal living in an environment if that environment couldn't support them. So if you just take the animal out of the environment, there's all these unused resources that are just waiting for another cat to come along and start to repopulate that area. So that's one of the major dynamics behind it. But another one is that with cats, unlike wildlife, there's usually a very strong human element involved, and there's a bond that's involved. And our experience is that the people who take care of the cats on a daily basis are just as bonded to them as anyone would be to their traditional pet cat. They have names for them. They bring them toys. They're out there taking care of them, whatever the weather is. There's a very powerful bond. And if you try to implement a management approach that doesn't align with what the people who care for the cats want, you're just going to get met with a wall of resistance. And so to desex a colony of cats successfully, to trap them, you have to know how many are there, where do they eat, when do they eat. You need to be able to withhold food at a certain time so that they're hungry. None of this will happen without the cooperation of the people who are caring for them.
And this bond to care for all animals is incredibly strong, but also very beneficial, as you can discover in this video linked on screen, which discusses the health benefits of having animals of all shapes and sizes in our lives. So tap on that video. But until the next time, I'm veterinarian Dr. Alex. This is Our Pets Health, because they're family.